Good evening. Good evening. I am coming back on tonight with evening affirmations. And this is just allowing us to focus on the good things that God is doing and not give place to the enemy. So, on tonight, our word is going to be adventure. And before I get started, if you have any questions or any comments, please put them down in the comments and I will reply to those after the video. So, adventure. Adventure is described as an unusual, exciting, and possibly dangerous activity, such as a trip or an experience. I think we can all agree life itself is an adventure. It's always ever twisting, ever winding road with new and unexpected experiences around every corner. The joy of life is that it is unexpected, both the ups and the downs, the good and the bad. Adventure is having the confidence to be brave, to fully explore, to not be afraid of anything. Adventure is going away from your comfort zone or from the norm. Adventure is necessary in helping us develop our strength and courage as we learn to confront our fears. It gives us opportunities to transcend limiting beliefs. I'm sure many of us grew up being taught to play it safe. Color in the lines. Don't leave out the yard. A bunch of don't do's. Don't do that. Don't do this. A whole list of things not to do. If we did any of those don't do's, we were punished. But adventure is what helps us develop resilience, confidence, life skills, and can also give us a powerful new sense of what is possible when we step beyond the known into the unfamiliar. I want to share two scriptures with you on tonight that puts me in the mind of adventure. The first scripture is Hebrews 12 and 1. It says, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. And let us run with perseverance the race that's marked out for us. That's an adventure. A race is always an adventure. There's a beginning of the race and there's the end of the race. There are runners lined up at the start of the race, ready to begin the race. Some are nervous, some are excited. At the end of the race, there are victories and there's also defeats. But this race, no matter how many times they've ran the race, is still a very unique race. It's not like any other race. Because doing that race, you don't know what's going to come up, any obstacles, roadblocks, may need to stop and take a break. You don't know what's going to be in between the beginning and the end of that race. The next scripture is Hebrews 11, verse 8 through 9. By faith, Abraham obeyed when he was called to go out of a place that he was to receive as an inheritance. And he went out, not knowing where he was going. By faith, he went to live in the land of promise, as in a foreign land, living in tents with Isaac and Jacob, heirs with him of the same promise. Abraham went on an adventure. Think about how scary Abraham must have been. He had no instructions other than to go. He didn't have a map. He didn't have GPS. He didn't have nothing. He had to trust God because he had nothing. Nothing to go off of. And although Abraham was nervous, I'm sure he was scared, he was uneasy, but he knew that God would not send him to a place that wasn't for his good, basically. So Abraham trusted God and he went on this adventure. So in that, it reminds us that we have to trust God with each step. Every day, we have to trust God that he's going to order our steps, even when we don't have directions. Because sometimes when I'm driving, I'm like, Lord, if this GPS go out, I don't know what I'm going to do because I don't know my way. And that's how Abraham was. He did not know his way. He had to trust in God. When I continue to think about adventure, I often think about my own life. I immediately think about my trip to Africa. I remember deciding whether I would travel to Africa or not. Initially, I was gripped with fear because this was something that I had never done before. I had never traveled out of the country. Matter of fact, I had barely traveled out of the state. So here I am trying to make a decision about whether I would leave the country and go to a land that I had never been before. This is what you would call an adventure, because this is me doing something that I had never done before and trusting that, it would be, or I would be okay. Adventures can be something that is small or it can be something big. But anytime you do something that you've never done before or that you don't normally do, that's an adventure. It's taking risk. It's doing something out of the norm. It's learning something new, exposing yourself to a different way of life. So as I think about the word adventure, we're taking adventures every single day. And I'm encouraging you this year to take more adventures, plan adventures. Let God add some adventure to your life. Do something you hadn't ever thought of doing. At the end of your adventure, you will have a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment because you stepped out on faith and tried something new, something risky, and something exciting. So as I bring this to a close, just remember life is an adventure. Every single day we wake up, and what happens between when we wake up and when we go to sleep is not scheduled. It's not planned. We plan our day and things happen throughout the day. That's because God is in control and we have to trust God with our adventure. And as I close, I'm going to leave you with these quotes. Not all that wander are lost. J.R.R. Tolkien. May your trails, your paths be crooked, winding, lonesome, dangerous, leading to the most amazing view. Edward Abney. Until you step into the unknown, you do not know what you're made of. Roy T. Bennett. This is going to conclude. Oh, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. The last one is once a year, go someplace you have never been before. Dalai Lama. And this is going to conclude my session on tonight, and I pray that something I said is an encouragement or inspiration to you and will lead you to start an adventure. This week, plan out an adventure. Do something that you've never done before. Plan to do something that you've never done before. A different experience, a different risk. Take a risk, a calculated risk. So that's all I have for tonight. Join me Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. God bless. Bye.